Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Hayden Raven, and welcome to Dellamorte Dellamore. Now, I believe this is Italian. This is actually should be a familiar game to you guys. It's made by the same developer as Lellac. Now, Lellac was a sentimental love story about a couple or somebody meeting an old friend or an old relationship, an old partner. But anyway, we're going to hop into Dellamorte Dellamore. It means of the death of love, or about death and about love. So I'm very interested to get into this, and I'm quite curious as to why they chose French as the first language and Italian as the next one. It's very cool, and I always love the music that they pair with their games. This is so cool. I was really surprised that there was nothing more to this game. Nobody had played it, and I was very surprised because his style is so good. But for right now, I'm going to shut up and just enjoy this. Oh, wow. So good. Ah. The earth is as beautiful as love. This is really something. Wow. Oh, wow. I'm taking in the music as we go along. This is... wow. All I can say is it's very thoughtful. It's very brooding on itself. Humanity is beautiful as death. Humanity is beautiful as death. I didn't realize that was a gun. Wow, that's just sad. Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, there's not much more to Dellamorte Dellamore. Wow. I kind of want to just sit here and listen to the music. It's really something. The earth is as beautiful as love, and humanity is as beautiful as death. I think we can take something from that. You know, it's two very short lines of poetry, and that's always very cool. I myself am a big poetry fan. I love poetry. But wow, that's just... it's really introspective. It's really strange, and it's really cool. It was a lot shorter than Lellac, but this is definitely an addition to the series of Mr. Theo Brochet's. That's actually what caught my eye about this game, is that Theo Brochet had, when he created Lellac, it just had this way about it that it infected me with its strange game that I loved it. I loved it, and I wanted so much more from it, but unfortunately it ended, and now this is different. It's not the same. In fact, in a way, it's a whole lot worse. Not that the game quality is bad, but what happens is so bad. Death is death, and there's nothing we can do to change it. Let me see if he's got anything more I could pair with this, because this is really cool. This is really, really cool. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Hayden Raven, and welcome to Lettera Amorosa. Now, this is by the same developer again, and this one is actually fairly recent, and it doesn't start off with a tape deck. It starts off very different. So I'm just going to play this along. There's no music, unfortunately. I always love the music that Theo puts with this game, but unfortunately, we're just going... I'm wrong. I'm so wrong, and I'm so happy to be wrong. Oh man, here it's gonna start. Let me say this. You've got a way about pairing the music. When I mean pairing, you've just got a way of picking something that so perfectly meshes with the tone of the game. Lellac was a very autumn... It gave the sense of being in the fall and love. It was passionate. It was warm, but Dellamorte was very cold in that it was happy in its own way. What I mean is the last lines of poetry that were in that game were so... it was like someone's last words. And in that I can respect it. It was very cool. You know, I'm thinking about it now. It's just... wow. This is so good. And now this one's just kind of... in a natural way. It feels like an end almost. So I guess we're going to see what we can find in this game. So I am going to try to translate this as we go along, so join me. This says, sometimes I imagine. I'm not going to try to pronounce French. I've never spoken French in my life, and I'm willing and able to admit that. But sometimes I imagine that it would be too good to drown. Have we returned to the setting of Le Lac? It looks very similar. It looks extremely similar. This makes me think that this is the conclusion of the three-part series. I feel like that we've returned to the setting that Le Lac established in the first game, so this really makes me think that we've returned after Dellamorte, after killing whoever we met in Le Lac the first time, unfortunately. On the surface of a pond. Very cool. This music is it's moving in its own way. This says, where no boat would venture. I believe they're talking about suicide. And I don't know what Lettera Amorosa means. I didn't translate that one yet either. Then resurrect. Oh wow. Let me translate this as fast as I can. The Apris un poem de René Char. Ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to end on this screen because I really like these games. I really do. It's just, they're very different. They're very human. They're very real. In that they have this way of expression. I don't know if they are the same people, but for me, this seems like an arc. The three stories together seem like meeting that old person, that old friend, the old partner, the old whoever, and then perhaps something going bad and shooting them and then returning for suicide. It's a very tragic story. That's what I take from all three of these games, and it's so cool. It's so cool to see the personification of that cold hatred, that burning passion, and finally that ease into death. It's just like fading away in the last game. It really is. This is really cool. Theo, I really hope that you do something more with your development skills because you have so much potential. So much. This is so cool. I love your games, and this is so cool. It really is. And just the way that the music and your game speaks through your message, it's something better. This isn't a game. This is a message. And hopefully I've received it just as hopefully all of you out there have. And I don't know how this will do, but hopefully I hope you guys enjoy it. Hopefully, as I say, hopefully. I can't speak. I've been having issues speaking this week, but nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time with Theo Brochet. This is a very cool game series, and I really like it. I'm going to link Le Lac down below so that you guys can watch the very first video about it and find maybe some closure after being thrown off about this entirely. So watch the beginning and see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, for the last time, I must bid you a good evening and a good night. So I'll see ya.